How's the audio going? How's the...
Everything is fine. Do
Okay,
you
good.
hear me?
Yeah. Okay, just checking.
Perfect.
So how are you? How was your day today?
Kind of busy. I've been working on a project, and so I started in the morning and I finished like in the afternoon. Then I did some sports, took a shower, and I'm here.
Fantastic.
So yes, was kind of productive.
So maybe you should start with like telling me something about yourself and
Mm-hmm.
just in general introduce yourself. So I...
Okay, my name is Kimberly Berckmoes, also known as Kimpili, artist name. I was born in Belgium, and then I started school in Belgium, and then we moved to France. I stayed there for a couple of years, and then I went back for art school in Bruges. And from there, I went to Brussels University to study animation. I finished studying in 2016, and then I did some jobs here and there in the commercial and entertainment world. And now, since a few months, I've been working on my own again as a freelancer on different kind of projects. So, yeah, that's it wrapped up.
Were you did you go to France at an early age? Because I can definitely hear like a it's not a thick French accent, but it's definitely a pronounced
Yeah, there is
accent.
something, some people say it, but yeah, my mother is French. So we always been like, how do you say? We always been bilingual. So my father spoke to us in Flemish and then my mother in French. And then we moved to France. I was 11 years, and I stayed for 5 years. So yeah, it was quite young.
Hmm. And so you're an artist and an animator. You said so. What type of do you make art in general, or do you just do animation?
I always have been doing art from a very young age. I'm still doing it. I'm very fond of everything that is 2D. I love to draw, to make illustrations, and next to that, I like to tell stories. But writing is not my skill. Comic books aren't my skill either, so animation was the perfect tool to bring a story to the audience. So I've been animating since 2012, but I have always been drawing. So yeah, it's mainly in the 2D animation, illustration. So yeah, everything that's hand draw, that's my passion.
Have you like done anything that's like out there on the internet, or is it mainly like commercial? Um,
No, I have some things out there. I have a website and an Instagram, and mostly on Instagram you can see what I'm working on. Um, but yeah, there are some things online. I did the master film that was selected throughout the whole world in 30 different countries. That was quite a success. And then I did a short video clip that was released 1 week ago. So those are little things I'm working on myself. I'm also working on another video clip now. And other things you can find online are animation sequences that I made for animation studio series that are shown on TV. But yeah, I don't think you can find a lot of commercial things because I don't like that.
mm. So you don't the commercial. commercial work you do, you just don't put that online, or you just because you don't want to?
Well, I tried the commercial work for 2-3 years. I think I just finished my studies. So that was my first job. It wasn't a commercial, but it made me depressed. I don't know, there wasn't the kind of freedom that I was seeking. So I did some commercial work and illustrations, but I don't know, it's been a few years ago and I'm not very satisfied anymore about it. And I didn't feel good in that period while doing commercial work. So, and it's not something I want to put online to represent myself. I want to show the people that I enjoy more the entertainment animation than the commercial.
Mm.
So yeah.
I think you said you had a website. Do you have a link of maybe I can look it up sometime?
Yeah, I can send it to you if you want.
Yeah, sure. So
Yeah.
apart from that, like what is it that like inspires you as an artist?
I really love movies. Um, I love gaming. I'm really bound with everything that's science fiction and everything that has an epic feeling in the art department, but especially in movies. I love to see the making of movies made from scratch, especially in the science fiction. Like there's so much going on. There is animation, there is prop making, makeup artist department. Like the list goes on, and that's where my inspiration comes from. Even though I'm just in the 2D animation, it's something that I want to recreate into the 2D animation, like the epic feeling and the intuitive feeling. I don't know how to say it. Yeah. I hope that you catch that.
Yeah. What type of movies inspire you? Are you like into like what genre or what
For movies, my favorite movie is or trilogy is The Matrix. Um, and then I really love the Alien films from Ridley Scott. I really love Ridley Scott in general. But yeah, sci-fi, like everything that has to do with the future and apocalyptic monster worlds. I don't know. It gives me a excitement feeling in the tummy. It's really inspires me. And then it's the same thing for video games. I really like survival horror, like Resident Evil, Outlast, The Last of Us, things like that. It's also in depth with monsters, apocalyptic world, fighting in the unknown, seeing different worlds, that kind of stuff.
yeah. Do you have like ambition to work in any of those fields, or are you no, not the fields, is that like a goal you're going for, to make like those types of movies and just going to?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't really know where I'm going, but I will always love to work in the movie industry. Like I always dreamed about doing like the sculptural animatronics sculptures in movies, special effects, not the CGI, but like more the manually things that I do, the art thing, or just even bringing coffee in a studio like that. I really wanted to be part of it, but there was never an education in Belgium or Europe that really specifies on the art making and the filmmaking, like the animatronic sculptures, the props and special effects. And I was always really passionate about drawing. So I just followed my way into what I liked, and it was what I love is drawing and telling stories, but I don't really know where it is going. Like I really like to make things that make me excited. Like I really like working on video clips with other artists or working with other people who wants to tell a story. Like making things from scratch, not just working on someone else series in the studio that's for television or working in the commercial stuff. I really want to work with people and make some epic shit that makes everyone warm and excited. Um, but for a future goal, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going. The main thing is that I keep myself happy because I have noticed that, like I said, commercial sector, like the film industry sector, it didn't bring me much joy because I wasn't working for myself. I was feeling like a machine. So yeah, it's quite difficult to do everything on your own and like see what's going to be on your path, but it makes it excited.
So I think you said something about like there's no art schools in those types of areas here in Belgium. What do you think like distinguishes like the Belgian education in arts with like the rest? Like what's the difference? Is it because I've been in art schools here myself? I kind of know that it's like a little bit more. It's not as professional as you would see in like an American
Yeah, I
school or something
totally
like that.
agree.
It's usually like a lot more. Although I think that might be changing. I do believe it's like a lot more. I don't want to say free. I don't necessarily think it's more free because I've been there and it looks free, but it's like dictatorially told that that's the way you have to do it to make it look like it's like free. But that might be my own opinion. But like, how do
Yeah.
you see like a difference in the art education here in Belgium and like somewhere else?
Well, yeah. First thing first, we are not the worst because I have been in the south of France, and the education there is much worse than where we are in Belgium. Like I think the level is -5 in France. The education level is -5 in France, and in Belgium it's higher. But I totally agree when you say like they are pretending that it's free, but like they let you believe an idea, but you have to work for it yourself. You like they are not skilled enough to, or they are skilled, but they will not share their skills. But they will let you do free things on your own, but they will not educate you enough. And I don't know, when I see things in America, like okay, it's very expensive and stuff, but like the special effects industry, like the makeup and prop department, like you have the Stan Winston School of Character Art, that's very expensive in America, but like they teach you everything, like every technique, every lesson they can give you, and I don't know, it's like there is more. Mm, it's there is more challenge, and they give you more tools to use in the future. And in Belgium I didn't feel that. Like you have the education, but they don't help you, like what after school, what can you do in the professional world, what techniques can I use, what can I do to enter my project at festivals, for example, or at VAF, Vlaams Audiovisueel Fonds in Belgium. They don't really teach you that, and it's it's so free. Like they let you do whatever you want in art school, so that you can find your way. But for most people, that doesn't work. Like it's like you have to figure everything out on your own. I don't know if you agree, but that was my feeling a little bit. But apart from that, it was okay, I guess.
I think that might, yeah. I can't say much because I don't necessarily can say like the reasoning behind it, but it's definitely like frowned upon to like actually try to be good at art. If you're, it has to be like this thing that you are, and it's not like something that you become.
Mm-mm.
And I don't know. I'm
I
not.
think it depends which school.
Yeah,
I
probably.
don't.
I think
The,
I did go to like DAE
mm-hmm.
in Ghent.
Yeah.
Um, even though yeah, I that was like more of a, I think that was more the a good um I don't want to say a good school, but they definitely do like a lot better than most of the schools.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still not in comparison to a lot of. But I was surprised that you said that the education in France was worse, because when it comes to animation, I from what I have seen and the people that I have seen in the industry, uh, there's, I think, a school in Paris that is like is like the one of the best schools in Europe. I think Russia is also very, there's a Russia and Ukraine, there's a lot of good schools, but
Mm-mm.
yeah, France.
But I think mainly in France, it's I'm talking about the education. I went to college, not to university, so maybe that's another thing. But like the main courses, like let's just say math, it's more complicated in Belgium, like the lessons they're learning, than in France or like some other things. Like the main education is less in France than Belgium. And then also I'm talking about the south of France, because in the south of France they don't have any art schools. Um, I know when we went to look for art schools for me in the south of France, it was a minimum drive of 2 hours. It was very expensive, and it wasn't what I expected. The workouts out there were things I could do like 3 years ago, so it wasn't my level, I guess. So that's why I decided to move back to Belgium and study art there, because I knew there were very good schools. But I agree with you when you say there are good animation schools in France. I totally agree. Like in Paris and in Lyon, also, I think they have, in Montpellier.
Yeah, I forgot the name of the
Um,
school.
yeah, I don't know them either, but no, totally. But I always wanted to go back to Belgium when I was in France. So I think it was a good choice to do so. It was less expensive to go to school in Belgium to follow art school than somewhere in the south of France where the level wasn't that high.
Yeah.
But then again, the south of France, it's not like the north of France. It's not the same.
Why is that not? Because I don't usually, I haven't lived in France, or I don't go that often to France. But what's like the difference
Hmm.
between south and north?
Well, the south, like we were at the Spanish border, so that's really the south of France. And there it's more like the bars they close at 6. There are no concerts, there are no party thingies going on. There is no very much culture. There isn't none of that. Like it's more like the chill, relaxed kind of way. Like you go to the beach at summer, you go drink some wine at your friends, but there isn't that. Like in Belgium, it's booming with culture. Like every day you have something going on, like a concert, art expedition, whatever. There is so much going on, but in the south of France, there isn't none of that. It's very quiet. It's very, yeah, there is nothing to do. So there isn't much culture and there isn't much art stuff going on. So it was very difficult to find an art school in the south of France. And the only art school that there were a couple of miles away, and they were very expensive because they were private schools. It wasn't really that, I don't know. The South is yeah, it's good for people in retirement, but it's not good for the youth, um, or to be creative. Yeah. But then in the north, it's another thing. The north is more like Paris. It's more live. It's a city. There are more things to do. But the south is, yeah, it's very dead.
Do you still go to France, or is it really that boring that you don't even go there anymore?
I know. I go once or twice a year because my family is also there. All the family from my mother's side, my grandparents stuff. They're all there. I have some friends also because I left when I was 16, and I made some really good friends. But I wouldn't go back to live there. Well, not as young as I'm young. Maybe if I'm retired and I want to be on my own, yes, but it's not, yeah, not now. But it's cool to go on vacation. You have the beach, there's warm weather, and that's it, I guess.
Do you do something else outside of art?
Like you mean a hobby? Or
Well, yeah, I don't know. Some people would say art is a hobby, but I don't. I don't like.
yeah.
Like you could do art as a job and then do art again as a hobby when you're home. But I
No,
mean,
no.
like,
Yeah, I really like to play video games and to watch movies, I guess. I like baking also. I like cooking. What do I like? Am I really that boring? No, I think I'm just an overall geek and a very introvert person in general. So,
yeah, I think
you know,
that's a common trait among artists.
yeah.
It's sad that it's stereotypically true, but I haven't met many artists that are not in some way or not. I don't. That's not really true. But the people that are in art that, well, I don't know what I want to say about that, but like I have been in art schools where there's a lot of extroverted people, but those people are usually the people that aren't doing art at all. So
Mm-mm. Yeah, I think most creative ideas come from people that are on their own. That's why I think most artists are introverts, because the best idea comes when you're sitting alone, doing stuff for your own. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. Even though, like, I think the internet definitely changed that a tiny bit. Because for me, I had the same problem, but I've been doing, I've been starting this podcast and stuff, and I definitely think that's like, I think a lot of that is like, you don't have like, sitting at home, you can't always invite people and stuff like that. But like, if you got an internet connection, you definitely seem to be able to.
No, I think it's great for us introverts to have internet, because that means we can do whatever we want whenever we want, and we can be social whenever we want also.
Yeah, so what type of projects have you going on right now, or are those like?
Yeah, I'm working on right now. I'm working on a video clip for a music video from Naomi Wolves. It's the ex-singer of Hooverphonic. She came to me explaining that it's an anime movie for her movie clip, for her video clip. But then I told her that wasn't really going to happen because she just had 3 weeks to do something and she wanted a full video animation, but that's impossible, especially with one people. With one person, you can't do that in 3 weeks. So I proposed to her a concept that would work with like tiny bits of fragments in animation, a lot of montage and effects on the computer, like something that's very DIY for the Corona period time now. So we started working on that, and we have 2 more weeks to finalize that. So yeah, that's what's going on now. And then there will be 2 other projects. One project will be illustrations for a children book, and the other one will be illustrations for an interview for adults. So that's, I think, yeah. I think that's it for now.
What type do you just use Photoshop, or what type, which ones are you using? Because I'm currently do you use 3D? I think you mentioned 3D, but you're mainly 2D. If
I do mainly 2D,
3D.
but like the 2D,
yeah.
2D, yeah. The main programs I use is like obviously Photoshop for like drawing and doing things, like everything you can do with Photoshop. It's amazing. I use Illustrator also sometimes when it has to be more clean. I use Toon Boom for animation as well, like cutout animation in Toon Boom, drawing animation in Toon Boom, effects in Toon Boom. And then I also use TV Paint if I want to go very 2D. I use Premiere for montage and effects, and I use After Effects also for effects. And I think that's it. Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that's fair. You don't use anything outside of Adobe? Just Adobe.
Well, Toon Boom is not from Adobe,
and
TV Paint isn't also from Adobe. But yeah, that and Adobe then. Those 2, TV Paint, Toon Boom, and Adobe.
Toon Boom. I never heard of Toon Boom, but I'm looking it up right now.
Toon Boom, it's amazing.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like, you can do so much stuff with it. Not only traditional animation, but also cutout animation. It's the new way of thinking in the 2D animation style. It's the cutout animation. It's faster and it has feeling, and it's also 2D.
Is it better than the Adobe one? They have like what is it? Adobe Animate?
The Flash? Yeah, never used that. Like I know the Flash. I heard from a few people that they weren't very satisfied with it. It was very amateuristic. But I never used any animation program in Adobe because I always worked with, like, I started with TV Paint and then I went into the, like, in the TV series and movies, and there they were using Toon Boom. That was the new tool, really, to be in companies. So I learned that, and I learned a little bit of everything, and I try to learn more about these programs when I'm home to make my own projects. So yeah. But Toon Boom is, if you didn't use it already, I really recommend it.
Yeah, and I'll definitely look into it because
Mm-hmm.
because I was thinking, I think Adobe has like animate and character animator, but yeah, I don't know. I don't really use the. I'm thinking about using animation software, but I'm moving into 3D, so. But I'll
Ah, yeah.
definitely look into Toon Boom.
But you can have 1 month for free for Toon Boom if you want to try it out. And yeah, but 3D, I have no idea what you can and cannot do. I did a few tries in 3D like a few years ago, but it wasn't really my thing. I don't know.
Yeah. I think you said
It,
you did like the TV one, the TV shows. Which shows did you like work for, or
excuse me?
what TV did you the when you went into the TV where you know
Yeah, where I
but
worked on the series.
yeah.
Yeah, so I went to Brussels at Walking the Dog. I think that's the most known studio in Belgium, in Flanders, in Brussels actually. And there I worked on the series in 2018 until 2019 on the series Knopje. It was a Dutch series, so we were in co-production with Holland. So we did that, and it was for the channel MPO3 at Holland. And now, I think in a few months they will send it at Catnet in Belgium. Then I also worked on a series in 2016 or 17, I don't know. And that was in Antwerp, Mortsel. And it was for the series Elvis and Benny that was sent on VTM, Kazoom. And then I also worked in Ghent. Like last summer, I worked on a series called Ollie. That has been sent out on Catnet also. Yeah, but it's also in co-production with other other countries. So they will bring it on the I think French television, Ireland television. I don't know which other countries there are, but yeah.
Ollie, isn't that like an old TV show, or is that like completely
Ollie, no, it's something new. It's with the blue bird, blue owl.
Hmm.
I don't think, but the series Knofje I did in Brussels, that's an animated series that was inspired on a series that was live action in Holland back in 1998, I think. So that's cool.
Yeah. What's like next on your to-do list? Like, what are you looking? Is there something like you're looking forward to doing, or are you just really just?
Ah, no, I have something to look forward to actually. I would love to do my own series. Like I would love to be more more a director than a animator in the future. That means that I really want to bring out the idea and the concepts with the story and then work with the team with something that I built with other people. So now actually since years I have been working on my own animation series, and yeah, there is a lot of work to do, and I'm trying to get some funds at the FAF. But basically, it's a 2D animation that talks about chickens. So that's a dream to complete. It's like to have my own animation series, like directed by me, not just as an animator, but as like the whole thing. Yeah. So I'm excited for that.
So what did you say that a series that you wanted to do about chickens, or?
Yeah, I am working on a TV series that talks about chickens.
That talks about chickens, or that chickens are like the characters, or are?
Yeah, the chickens are the characters. Yes.
So probably also like a kids show, or like more.
Yeah, it has to be a kid show because if you don't have a kid show in Belgium, you can't get any funds. That's the hard reality here. So I'm focusing on making it for kids, but I wanted to have a double humor that also worked for adults. Like I wanted to work for the two publics.
So because I have looked into like the stuff at VAF, but so you're saying that it mainly has to be kid shows, or what?
No, I'm not really talking about FAV, but yeah, maybe a little bit because FAV is the only fund racing company for Flanders. But you can sell something if it's not for a children public, because if they know that children can watch, it will sell because they can show it on television. If it's just something for adults, they will have more difficulties to sell it properly. So there is I think there is very tiny little chance if you do something from adults that you can get it funded in Belgium, but mainly you have to focus on kids, and they will be more than happy to help, I guess.
Why do you think that is? Is that because adults don't buy stuff here for at all, or is it like what is?
No,
like
I think like the adult things, they will more go on streaming, or you will find them like underground online. But like if you do something, you can sell it to television, and like if you can sell it to television, there will be money, and that's why you will get funds, because it's something that's going to work. It's like the industry, like the television industry, that's almost dying, but kids are still watching in the morning at animated movies or animated series. So that's the main reason that kids series or films are, yeah,
have you
they're more funded.
Yeah,
go on.
Have you noticed any like you said, like the TV industry like be dying? Is it really going to? Do you think it's going to go away entirely, or is it like?
Yeah, I'm 100% sure it will go away entirely. It's just a matter of time, I guess. But the only people who are still watching TV are like the elderly or the most older people, adults. But if you look at the younger generation, like us and children, like we are just on the internet all the time. If you want to watch news, we'll go on the internet. If you want to watch a movie, we'll go to the internet. You don't have any advertise any shows like on TV, and all the info is out there. It's just for you to search it up. But television, like I don't know, there is no future because the internet is booming. Like streaming is booming. Everything is it's going so well for the internet, and there is already like it's been a few years that the television is really afraid to how do you say, to go fight. But yeah, I personally don't think that television will stay forever. But I think for animation now in Belgium, it's safer to make something that can sell on television, or you can go and look for a partner with a deal for a streaming site. I don't know. It's like the digital world it's an whole other thing that I don't know everything about, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually wondering about that as well, since I'm doing well. I'm moving into doing content online myself. I've been contacted by YouTube channels and stuff for doing stuff for them, but it's always like animation, those types of stuff, and it's definitely. I wanna sometimes say yes, but like they aren't funded, and so they post their content online, and then they ask like, yeah, do you want to make the content and split it? Split the profits.
Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
that can look a little shady, or be like you have to put in so much work and you don't know if it's going to be um if it's going to make any money or whatsoever. And then it's like, because animation is definitely 2D animation. How long do you usually do to make a 2D animation? Because that's quite a, or do you not
It's a lot
make?
of work.
Yeah.
But I think mainly like the danger with the internet is that a lot of people will come to you, you as being an animator, and they will ask you for something, but they don't know the effort it requires to make a full animation movie. And they think it's like made very fast, very quick, very simple, but that's not the case. But for me, I don't know. It depends on which technique you want to make an animation. But if you want to make an animation from scratch, I think you can do like 6 seconds a day.
Six
So yeah,
six
seconds
seconds.
a
So
day.
a 1 minute movie is like 10 days, and like, oh, do
Yeah,
you
but
have?
I'm talking about just animating, not like putting out a concept, storyboard, timing, back and forth feedback. Really just having everything prepped and working on your animation. You can do 6 seconds a day. Roughly estimated. It depends on which animation technique you use.
Are you thinking of moving into 3D? Because I think definitely if like I think that's going to be, that would be a very big like um differentiator if you say like 6 seconds, because a lot of the animations now, if you make it in 3D, you can buy or make props and do a lot faster and make it look like it's 2D. Is that something you're?
Well, that's the thing. Like I'm talking about 6 seconds for a traditional kind of way animation. Like you have a frame, and then you make another frame from scratch, and you make another frame from scratch. If you do 3D, on the other hand, you don't do a drawing from scratch every other drawing. You have a puppet that has been sculpted, has been rigged. So then when you have that puppet, you can do like more seconds because you don't have to do everything from scratch over and over again. So I think, yes, you can do more seconds a day, because when we did the animation series on Knofje, it was also cut out animation, and it's just the same principle. Like you have a puppet in 2D that's rigged, everything is ready. You don't have to do frame by frame from scratch. You just have to the puppet and you move it to animated. And I think our quota a day was 7 seconds, but if I did my best, I got 10 to 11 seconds a day. So yeah, it really depends from which technique you do. I think like the stop motion industry, like Artman Animation in Bristol, I know they do 3 seconds a day for stop motion puppets movies like Shaun the Sheep, Chicken Run, all the stuff. So that's less seconds a day because it's more intense. So it really depends on which animation you do, what you want to do. But I agree with 3D animation being faster because you have like the puppet and you have everything prepped, everything ready to animate. But I don't know if I would like to be open to try 3D animation in the future because like a few years ago, a few months ago, I was like, yeah, I would never use After Effects again. I hate it. It's so technical, blah, blah, blah. But now you see, I have been working with After Effects for a few weeks now, and when you know it, you love it. So why not try 3D animation in the future? Because being a really sci-fi fan and stuff, it can be so cool to add 3D effects. But I'm not a person who likes to stick with one technique for a movie. I really like to build up with different things. So 3D can be another skill. Yeah.
I think if you're really like someone who likes to play video games and stuff, like using Unreal Engine would be definitely something I would recommend because that's literally almost like playing a game. It's like
Yeah. But I don't know, like I always love to draw. Like I love everything that has to do with lines, like lines in animation, lines in tattooing, lines in illustrations, and that's something I don't see in 3D animation. Like you don't have that roughness that you see that they did with the strike of a hand. Like everything is there and everything is with numbers when you do 3D. That's what's in my mind. And I really hate numbers and math. And I really like more the just the simple line things, you know? Like I don't know. I don't know. I had to try it out, like the 3D thing,
yeah,
to see
yeah.
what works.
Maybe if you like lines, you can try like something like Blender and do like sculpting, because sculpting is.
Yeah.
I've tried sculpt. Or I am trying and doing sculpting now, and it's like just like drawing, but then on top of a.
Yeah. Well, I tried ZBrush once and I really liked it. But like I was wondering if you can do if you can do a 3D animation, you can always draw over it in 2D animation though. It would be a lot of work, but
What do you
I don't know.
mean? Like you draw? You mean like make something in 3D and then draw on top of the?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely
It's
so.
yeah, it's double work like because you have the animation to do on the 3D model, but then you also have to do frame by frame lines on the 3D model. But I think it would be a cool effect because you have like the futuristic 3D animation. It will be so. I think it would be cool. Like I like to consider those things like a special combination. I don't know if you watched the movie Klaus
No,
on Netflix.
you're not the first person that has recommended that movie. I
Ah,
think so. I'm definitely. I haven't really
well, yeah,
watched
that's
movies.
another.
Yeah.
Ah, you have to. Well, I really recommend watching Klaus because it's another great example to show that they are pushing to the animation to another level. Because if you see in the film industry now, like every length animation movie or most animation movies are made in 3D, and it's very hard to find a 2D animated full-length movie that's made traditionally because it's something that's very expensive and they don't use it anymore. So Klaus is a movie that I made entirely in 2D animation with the traditional animation principles, like everything, like it's like a Disney movie from in the 90s. But what they did with the drawings afterwards is making lights on the drawings. Like everything was colored, like you will see a animated Disney movie with lines and color. But they went a step further and they placed every light on different places on the faces, on the body, to show every depth. Like you could see the nose, for example, was brighter, then the hollow of the eyes were darker. Like the lights were giving a 3D dimension to the animation. And that's what made this movie awesome, because the first time you look at it, you are like, oh my God, is this 3D animation? But it's too beautiful to be 3D animation because you can feel like the roughness. And then when you do your research and you see how they do it, it's like just amazing. It's a new technique. It's something that works because you have the look of 3D. It sells really well now, but it's still 2D animation, and that's just, it's wonderful that they're pushing it. They're pushing it to the animation further because it's something that's, most people would say it's dying. I don't believe so, but it gives me hope to see that people are trying to push the 2D animation back up and sell it. So yeah, I really, really recommend watching it.
Yeah,
I think they did it in 5 years.
in 5 years.
No,
Oh,
I'm not sure. Yeah, not sure. But that's the amount. I think that's the amount of years to make a good movie. At least you need 5 years. I don't believe in movies that they are made in 1 year.
yeah, maybe like definitely when it comes to all the stuff that needs to go on, like making the scripts and
Yeah,
definitely.
exactly. Script prepping, like audience, like everything. Like I think just the animation part would take two 2 years, and like 3 years prepping everything. I think they did Shaun the Sheep movie also in 5 years from Artman Animation.
Do you know any movies that were made in 1 year? Or
Well,
probably the Marvel movies or something like
voila,
that.
I was going to say it. Like if you look at just the normal movies, the animation movie, you can see, yeah, really, Marvel is also an animation movie if you look at it. But yeah, like Marvel, but you can feel it. I don't watch Marvel anymore. I don't watch Disney anymore. Because they are so focused on making money and they don't care about the quality of their film, because I know they will have public who will buy and watch it. They bring, I don't know how many films they make every year, but it's insane. And you can feel it in the movies. They make like the story is so weak. The animation is, it's good, but it's not, it's not Disney. Disney used to be like the epic animated movie. Like the music was fantastic, the drawings were fantastic, like the story was epic, like everything was very, very real, very searched. But now, like they make a movie in 1 year. It's they do the acting, they do the script, they do everything in a year, and you can feel it that the quality is not as good as a movie they make in 5 years, for example. That's a pity. That's it's like a good example in Disney is like they're remaking all the classic movies from the Disney saga, like the Lion King and Jungle Book and stuff. And it's just so bad. I watched the Lion King, for example. Everything hurted. My heart hurted. My stomach hurted. It was so bad. Like the animation was fantastic and stuff, but you can't expect to make an animated movie with real expressions from a cartoony movie. You can't represent it in real life animals. You can't see all the expressions or what they mean. It isn't that. Yeah, you can't feel it. It. They don't think in their movies anymore. That's what I'm trying to say. Disney are not. They are just thinking about the money, and they're not thinking about making good movies.
I still have hopes for the Matrix 4 because they haven't really, I don't really watch Keanu Reeves movies anymore, but I know that they're usually still, they have some sort of quality to them. But
Yeah,
even,
I don't.
even
I don't know. We'll have to wait. But I don't think that Keanu Reeves would play in a movie if he's not 100% behind it. He always plays in very, very good movies. But I don't know. Like Disney also bought 21st Century Fox, so there will be a new Alien movie that will suck probably. I don't know. They are buying everything. They are destroying everything.
they, that's new to me. Like they bought 21st Century.
Yeah, 21st Century. Yeah, I think 2 years ago.
Oh. So they're going to start making. Oh no, the one of the
Yeah.
last. Oh, like I already
Sorry.
quit watching movies.
No, it's I don't know. I think like the movie I'm watching most forward to now is Avatar 2. That's the only movie I'm watching forward to because it's a movie that I've been working on for more than 10 years now. It's amazing. Like they are never satisfied. They always want to do it better and they want to have the quality of like next level. I don't know if you watched the first one. It was back in 2010, I think, or 2009. I don't know. The
Yeah,
first Avatar.
I didn't really like that movie.
Yeah, I
Uh,
really liked it in the because it's just it was a phenomenal new technique, and I know the second Avatar, it will be. I read something that it will all be filmed underwater. So if you think about it, it's a CGI film with motion capture actors, and they will make everything underwater. So the actors were trained to swim for a few minutes underwater, to have an excellent swimming technique, and to have an excellent acting in the water. And if there is something very hard to reproduce in animation, it's water and ocean. So I'm really excited how they are going to pull this off.
yeah. Do you know any good movies that are still coming out, or is it like because I keep thinking like I wanna see a movie. I went to see the last Star Wars. I didn't see the previous two. They had a lot of bullshit about it. So I was like, I'm just going to see for just maybe the visuals and just seeing, but it's I don't know. I don't even remember the movie anymore.
Yeah,
It's not.
it means that's so bad then. If you can't even remember what you saw, and
Yeah.
like Star Wars used to be so good before it was bought from Disney, obviously. Like Lucasfilm used to be so good, like the Star Wars film. There were. I'm not. I really love science fiction. Star Wars is like a little bit too much sci-fi, but it always has been epic, and there was always a story. But now it's so bad. I watched the first Star Wars after Disney bought Lucasfilm, and I was so disappointed. I think I'm at the age now that I will never watch a Disney movie again in theaters. I just don't want to give my money to them. I refuse.
Yeah. I think there's probably enough people that still are going to watch anyway. but
Of course, but there are those are the people that don't know what's going on, I guess. Or yeah, I think everyone would go see a remake of of their favorite movie. But yeah, I don't know. But for new movies that will come out, I don't know if there are any. I don't know. I'm not looking forward to any movie except for the Avatar 2. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the third film of Ridley Scott on the Aliens pre-trilogy. Like he made Prometheus and Alien Covenant, and now he's working on his third film of the sequel. So I'm really a big fan of Ridley Scott, so I'm looking forward for that too.
Yeah, probably. Did they already make an Alien movie with Disney? Or is it the first time that they're going to do that? Because I did watch
No.
the... No?
They didn't do a Alien movie yet. Well, from Disney.
Okay.
And I don't know if the third film of Ridley Scott will be... I don't know if they will be working with Disney, because it was announced later that Disney was buying 21st Century Fox, and Ridley Scott was already working on the third movie of his Alien pre-trilogy, so I don't know. I hope not. I think Ridley Scott is smart enough to know that maybe that's not a good idea.
Yeah, I wonder as well.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen that we've approached an hour. So unless you want to, if there's something you want to still say, we can call it quits.
Okay. I don't know if there is anything else I want to say. It was a nice chat. It's nice to rant about geeky stuff like that.
Yeah.
There are not a lot of people who you can do it with. So yeah, thank you for that. It was very nice.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for being here.
Yeah, no problem.
Unless I have any difficulties with the video, which shouldn't happen, I will upload this at some point later as an episode, and then I'll send you a link or something.
Okay, that's good. If you need anything else from me for the podcast or something, you just tell me.
Yeah. Okay. I see you.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.